friends, 2 time zones, and a shared love of stories.
I'm Freya.
And I'm Jamie.
Bridging time zones 1 chapter at a time.
Welcome to Once Upon a Time Zone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first actually official episode of Once Upon a Time Zone. Today, we thought we would do just kind of like an intro episode. So like both of us are going to be getting to know our own reading tastes better. And then if you are new listeners or new followers or subscribers to us, you can also get to know us better this way as well. Thought it'd be fun as a first episode.
It's a fun little episode, a bit of an interactive episode for this one, which I'm always excited about.
Yeah, so we're gonna basically do a couple of like reader quizzes to find out like what types of readers we are. But before we get into that, we'll get into our current reads section. So Freya, I'm gonna ask you, what are you currently reading?
I'm excited about this one. I am almost finished Enchantra, which for those of you who don't know, it's the second book to Phantasma. I know you really, really enjoyed this one, and I'm loving it. I'm obsessed with Rowan. He is such a good protagonist.
Love him.
I didn't think I would love them as much because this one's following the sister from Phantasma, for those who don't know. And I didn't love her as a character in Phantasma. I was like, I didn't hate her, but I was like, yeah, okay, you're okay. But I'm really liking this one. It's so much fun. I'm having so much fun.
I loved it.
Yeah,
the family characters in that one are so good.
Yes,
I love their family dynamics.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's giving like rich family, kind of Knives Out type vibes. Like,
yes.
But in a fantasy setting. I'm loving it. It's so much fun. What are you reading?
So I'm currently reading The Song Rising. It's the 3rd book in the Bone Season series. I don't think have you read that one?
No, I haven't read that one.
Okay, yeah, it's by Samantha Shannon. It's going to be 7 books total, and there are already like a few novellas out, so it's like a giant series.
Wow, that's a big... Okay, it's kind of good that you're reading it whilst it's releasing. That makes it a little bit less intimidating.
Yeah, so there are 5 out so far, and I'm on the 3rd one. So that's been fun. It's like a very, like, it's kind of a sci-fi fantasy. We're like set in the future. It's like future London. But there's people who are like clairvoyant, so there's like all these type of like mind powers, and they're being hunted, and it's just like there's a lot going on.
It sounds so fun though. I've heard really good things about that series. People have been telling me to read it for a long time now. I just have so many series I'm meaning to start.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's one of those series, like I keep putting off reading the next one for months for some reason, so I always like forget everyone's names and all the terms in between books, but yeah, it's fun. I like it.
Cool. It sounds great. And continuing series. We're in the middle of, both of us. Good on us.
Yes. We're being so productive.
Should we jump into the quizzes? And should we leave this linked below for everyone else? So if you guys want to follow along or do it with us, that could be fun as well.
Yes, that would be so fun. Let us know what you get. So the first quiz we're doing is actually called the Read Your Color quiz. I actually got inspired to do this one. I saw Sid Bookworm do this one on her YouTube channel. So Sid, thank you. I will give you credit and link you below as well. You should definitely check out her channel. But basically, this is a quiz. I think it gives you 24 like synopses. What is the plural of synopsis?
Synopses, I guess.
Synopses?
Yeah, I don't think it would be synopsis. That's making us sound so bad. But anyway.
Anyways, yeah, it gives you basically like 24 theoretical books, and then you say if you would like to read it or not like to read it on like a scale. And at the end, it assigns you 1 out of 6 color types. So there's yellow for the emotional catalyst. So these are books that evoke intense feelings, which could be me. There's red, which is the passionate adventurer. So these readers would crave intensity and high stakes, which I feel like is also me. I feel like these are all kind of me.
I was looking through the possibilities and I was like, oh, I actually have no idea which one I'm going to get.
There's blue, which is the introspective oracle, explores the deep, quiet complexities of the human soul, which I've been recently more into. So
you have been, yeah, especially with some of your past reads. Yeah, it might surprise us.
There's orange, the serial world hopper, thrives on masterful world building.
See, I do love a good bit of world building, honestly.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm all of these colors. There's green, the curious sage, who views literature as a toolkit for navigating life. I feel like this one's not me.
I wish it was, but I don't think it is me either.
It's what we strive to be.
Yeah, literally.
And there's Purple, the unbound innovator who loves experimental storytelling and genre-defying narratives. That sounds like a cool person too.
It honestly sounds, again, what I want to be, but I don't think I'm going to be those last two.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I could be a combination of all the other ones. So
yeah. Yellow, red, blue, and orange.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I do love a good emotional read. I love books that just destroy me. But then I love good world building, and I also really like adventure and like intensity and high stakes. So, and I feel like you're pretty similar. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if we get the same color type.
I know Jamie and I have pretty much like 99% of the time we'll be liking the same books or hating the same books. So yeah, well, hopefully we don't get the exact same, but you know, maybe your recent genre hopping will make you a little bit more interested in some other books that I don't usually go for. So we'll see.
That's true. Yeah. Well, hopefully we get some variety, so we're just not doing the exact same.
Could also be really helpful because, I mean, knowing kind of what books you like and what genres to go down, that's also very helpful considering our massive TBRs.
Yeah, and I think this quiz gives you like actual book recommendations too based on your color. Ooh. So we'll see.
That'll be fun.
End. Okay, shall we get started?
Yes.
Question 1. A poetic memoir weaves together fragments, dreams, journal entries, old texts, chronicling the author's healing after grief. Would you read it?
Look, if I'm going to be completely 100% honest, I probably would not read this one.
Yeah, I'm not a nonfiction girly, and this is a memoir.
Yeah, I don't mind a memoir, but usually I have to have some sort of connection to the person I'm reading about. Usually I have to like know them or know a little bit about their story. So I think I'm going to go would probably not read. There are a few options, which is nice. It's just not.
So you're a probably not read, not a definitely not read.
Yeah, not definitely not, because I do pick up a few memoirs now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just not what I usually gravitate towards. What about you?
I might say definitely not read. I feel like the poetic is throwing me off. Like I like flowery writing, but like I don't read actual poetry.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a very low chance of me reading this. So I'm going to do definitely not read.
I mean, look at us. Already differences. All right, question 2. A woman falls in love with a man through an anonymous letter exchange in library books, never meeting until fate intervenes. I mean, that sounds exactly like one of our favorite reads.
Divine Rivals.
Yeah. I'm going to say would definitely read because that sounds so much fun. I'm such a romantic. So, yeah, that sounds really fun to me.
Yeah, it's got books. It's a book about books. It has letters.
Yeah.
And we have romance.
Set in the library.
And we have fate.
We've got fate. So much fun.
Yeah, that's a definite read, for sure. Number 3. In a city run by corporations, a lone data hacker risks everything to uncover the truth behind a mass digital blackout. Oh.
This is not really my kind of book, I would say.
This is like full sci-fi.
Have you ever read anything? I feel like the sci-fi I read still borders on we've got some fantastical elements in here. This is just full on.
So I actually, like this past week, read Recursion by Blake Crouch, and that's that's the most sci-fi book that I have ever read, and I really loved it. So now I'm like, am I a sci-fi girly?
That's interesting. What are you gonna do? Which one?
I don't know if a blackout is my thing though.
Yeah.
Like I like time travel, but I don't know if I'm like data blackout.
Yeah, this seems quite intense, honestly. I'm gonna say would definitely not read, because if I was in a bookstore and I picked this up, I would be like, just not my kind of thing.
That's true. I might say probably not read, just because it's a sci-fi, and it's like I feel like the tropes and the vibe don't match me.
Yeah. Okay, question 4. In a shattered world ruled by elemental warlords, a cursed warrior and an outcast prince form a forbidden bond that could remake the realm.
Yes.
Yep.
That's an easy yes. This sounds
Can you
like
tell I'm not wearing my glasses.
Oh, yeah. Can you see?
I should be. Yeah, I'm just like...
I would definitely read this. This sounds like every book that I do read.
Yeah, it does pretty much, honestly.
Like, have I read this already?
Bonds, Enemies.
Yes.
Literally. Yeah, probably a good few times.
Yes. Easy. Okay. Number 5. A solitary monk walks across America encountering strangers who subtly reshape his inner life and beliefs. Oh.
So this kind of, I'm guessing it's a nonfiction, or
It sounds like a literary fiction, like a character, like
yeah,
slow
literary
moving
fiction. Yeah,
Like maybe he meets people along the way who like make him realize things about himself.
Look how true we. So, see, I would love to kind of read this stuff. I think it would probably be fascinating. I really like my fantasy world.
So fair. Same.
I'm probably gonna go. Would definitely not read as much as I wish I would.
Ooh. I might go with might read because my June, I feel like I had a lot of these types of books, kind of like slower moving, character driven books.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
I do want to definitely like get into more of that kind of book. I do think it's very beneficial, and I probably need to break up my reading a little bit.
You have to read Shark Heart.
I do. I'm really curious about the fact that you liked that book so much. I'm really curious because when we started, the premise was so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
So I am quite curious about that one.
But I loved it. Can I control your reading week again? And I'll pick Shark Heart for you.
Yeah, you really need to. Well, apparently that got like 2 of the top 10 books for my year so far. So
I'm a good person to recommend books, apparently.
You really are. Yeah. Those 2 books have literally not left my mind since. So okay, question 6. Drawing on neuroscience and ancient philosophy, this guide helps overthinkers learn to make better decisions. It sounds like something I need. I am very much an overthinker.
Same, actually.
So I think it's like a self-help book, I'm guessing.
Yeah, like a philosophy.
Yeah.
It's like a book that my husband would read.
Yeah, same. I was about to say. Yeah, we've probably got very similar ones on our bookshelf, honestly.
Yeah, I probably have a book somewhere in the house like this, but it's not my book.
Yeah. I'm going to say would definitely not read.
Yeah.
I'm not really the self-help books that I do read, they're usually like Dolly Alderton kind of vibes, if that makes sense. They're usually more drawing on other people's experience, not necessarily telling you how to implement things in your life.
Yeah, like not like so factual, but more like just life experience. Yeah, I'm also going definitely not for this one. A surrealist artist discovers her paintings are portals to real worlds, and something is starting to come back through the canvas. Ooh, that just got me really excited.
Narnia vibes.
Yeah. Why did I actually get so excited to read this book?
I want to read a book like this because I haven't heard of a book like this, and that sounds so much fun. It's that one scene from the second Narnia. I don't know if you've watched or read it. No, it's the second movie rather. I think it's the third book. And the painting comes to life and the water comes out of the painting, and that's how they get transported into Narnia. Ooh. And that's all I can think of when I hear this scene.
So definitely read.
I'm gonna say we'd definitely read.
Yes. We're on the same page with that one.
Okay, question 8. Oh, this sounds fun. A grumpy CEO starts to rethink what's important to him after he falls in love with the new VP from marketing.
Oh, that's funny.
So it just kind of sounds like a typical workplace romance, which I kind of love now and then.
Yeah. What was that one that was really popular that it got made into a movie? The
Hating Game?
Yeah. I didn't like that one.
I didn't like that one. I didn't love that one. Mainly just because he called her Strawberry Shortcake as her nickname. Yeah. And that literally just threw me off the entire time. I was like, this could actually be a really fun plot, but that nickname in particular it's making me, no, I don't like it.
Sometimes a nickname just throws you off so much.
It can throw you off the entire character. I don't know how. What are you going to say for this one?
I might say might read just because like the concept sounds so fun, but I'm just thinking of the Hating Game and I'm scared. Yeah.
Now we've just made that that connection. I think I'm going to go, look, the part of me wants to go Yeah, I'm going to go would probably read. I always pick up these kind of books when I've read like a really intense fantasy or something and I just need a little brain refresh. I always pick up something like this.
Yeah,
So
something cute and fun. Question 9. An ex-assassin hiding in Alaska must confront his past when his daughter is taken by a vengeful arms dealer.
taken? Question mark.
Yeah, taken in Alaska.
Look, I do love a good fun setting.
Yeah,
It does sound like an interesting thriller, honestly.
it does.
I think I might read. I don't read thrillers too much, but this kind of sounds like an action thriller, which is always fun. I'd probably watch this movie more than I'd read the book.
Yeah, I feel like this is more of a movie I would watch. I've been really like not enjoying thrillers, so I'm gonna say probably not for this one.
All right. A chef's journey. Hang on, sorry, my glasses. A chief's journey across post-Soviet Europe, searching for chefs, the recipes that define her grandmother's lost homeland.
Oh, I love food, like foodie topics.
I don't think I've ever read a book like that before, to be honest. It does like, again, I would watch a movie like that in a heartbeat. But I don't know that I'd read it. I think I'm going to go would probably not read. Not definitely not, but probably not.
Ooh, I might say probably.
Yeah?
There's something about this, like post-Soviet Europe. So we're
Have
like,
you ever... Yeah, it is an interesting setting. Have you ever read anything like this before?
I don't think specifically, like nothing so food oriented, but like this just sounds so interesting to me. And like finding your family.
Okay, we're going to be a bit different in that one.
Like finding like where you came from.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like home seeking.
Okay, well, that's okay. We're different on that one. That's good. We're going to take that as a good thing.
Okay. Question 11. A multi-general novel told from the perspective of a single house and the people who lived, loved, and died within it. Oh, yeah.
I love a multiple POV kind of book.
And like multi-generational, like when it spans across like different generations. And you see like the grandmother and then like the mother and then the daughter. Yeah. Yes.
I think you'd be putting it together in your mind as you go. You'd be trying to like put everything together. I think, I'm going to say we'd definitely read, honestly.
I
love books like that. I need to read more books like that. But to be honest, I don't know. I feel like the recommendations I see, they're all in the same genre. I need to like read more ones like this, get more recommendations like this.
Have you read Pachinko by Min Lee?
I haven't even heard of it.
It's basically this.
Great. We'll be putting that on my priority TBR then.
There you go. Okay, yeah, I'm a definite read too.
Okay, question 12. A deep dive into how food systems, global trade, and local economies shape the way we eat and how to eat better. Look, it's not jumping out at me.
Yeah. See, I like food, but when you like tie it in with economics and like global trade, I just don't want to hear about that stuff.
Yeah. Yep. It's I'm gonna say we'd definitely not read. I would not pick that up in a bookstore.
Me
to be
neither.
honest.
Yeah, I would definitely not read. I probably wouldn't even be in the section of the bookstore that this book is in. So I wouldn't even see it.
Very informative book.
Okay, 13 is a linguist and an ex-CIA operative must decode an ancient manuscript before a secret society reshapes history. I love a secret society.
Yeah. I love, like, as soon as they're CIA, like, somehow related to the CIA, that always gets me for some reason.
You're a CIA girly?
Little. Literally. I wanted to be, like, a secret agent when I grew up. I would be terrible at it, but that was a dream.
Wow. I could never.
I'm probably... Yeah, no, literally. I'm probably the most unaware person I know.
Yeah.
When I'm in my own little bubble, nothing else... I don't notice anything else, so I probably would have... The person I was looking for would have run straight past me and I wouldn't realize.
Yeah.
So good thing we didn't go into that field.
No, I'm also like always the person who's just like standing in the wrong spot. Like I'll be standing in the bike lane and everyone will be like, what are you doing? Because I'm just so unaware of where I am.
No, that's in another world, in another life.
Yeah, but I would read this. I think I would probably
I would 100%
read this.
read this. Yeah, I was going to say I would probably read this. I don't think I'd reach for it straight away, but it does sound really, really interesting. All right, question 14. A novel told entirely through footnotes and deleted Wikipedia entries reconstructs the life of a time traveler who never existed.
Hold on.
That is an interesting... So a novel told through footnotes and deleted Wikipedia entries.
So the structure of the book is just footnotes and like little info blurbs?
Yeah, it says entirely.
Oh.
I think that could be a really hard read. It could be a really interesting read. But I think I would probably prefer if there were little paragraphs and then, we get a footnote or a Wikipedia entry.
Yeah, like a full...
I think it would be a difficult read.
Like a full book, but with like bonus content, like at the ends of chapters with like the Wikipedia entries and stuff.
Yeah. I like the concept. I do think it would be a very difficult read though. And I do love a time travel trope.
Yes. And like who never existed. That's so mysterious.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think I'm going to might read because I definitely, I don't think it would be one of those books you just pick up at the end of a long day just to like take your mind off things.
Just to break your entire brain.
Yeah, it's like you're a CIA detective.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, this is your training for your next job.
Yeah, exactly. Clearly, I would have been really passionate about it.
Yeah, you're like, I might do it. It's like my dream job, but like maybe.
Little Freya was somebody else.
Might read. 15. A struggling screenwriter falls for the nanny of his ex-wife's kids in a story filled with awkward charm, bad coffee, and unexpected kisses. Oh.
I think I'd cringe a lot reading that. It's the nanny of his ex-wife. That's messy.
That's messy.
That's instantly quite awkward.
I feel like it could go...
Yeah,
it could go either way. Like, it could be really bad or it could be really good if it's done well.
I think if the protagonist was very, like, charming but nerdy, that kind of way.
Yep.
I think it could be good. But if the protagonist, as soon as the protagonist says something that's a little bit off, I'd be turned off, I think, quite quickly.
If there's a nickname.
I'm going to say, yeah, exactly. If there's a nickname. I'm going to say would probably not read, honestly. I don't think I'd completely rule it out because it's a little romance at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But
I might go with, I'll go with might read. I have faith. I feel like it could be really awkward to read, but like maybe it could be good.
All right, question 16. In a future where dreams can be uploaded and bought, a woman begins to lose the line between memory and product. That sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
Whoa.
I'm intrigued. I'm very instantly intrigued. I'm starting to think, where have all these books been? Like, why have I only been reading this very small amount of books?
Yeah, I also want to know if these are actually like blurbs of real books or if they're just completely made up.
Yeah, this is a lot to make up, honestly. So surely some of them are. I mean, the fantasy ones were definitely very...
Yeah.
That just sounded exactly like a lot of the books we've read. So maybe this is.
Yeah. This sounds...
It's a bit hard.
Sounds like it would break my brain, but I also, like, it sounds similar to Recursion, but very different. But, like, there was a lot to do with, like, memory and stuff like that. So I think I'm in. I think I would probably read.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was going to say probably read as well because I don't think... it'd probably sit on my bookshelf for a few months and then I'd get to it. And I feel like I would enjoy it once I read it, but it does sound really intriguing. And I love kind of psychological thriller vibes when, you don't really know what's real and what's not real.
Yes.
I love that vibe. So,
yes.
Yeah, so I do think it would be really interesting.
The amnesia trope. Give it to me.
Yeah.
I love when a character forgets.
All right.
Question 17. A former Silicon Valley exec shares what broke him, what healed him, and how to live a more intentional digital life.
It's not jumping out at me.
Yeah, this is a definite no for me.
Yeah, I think the same for me.
There's nothing...
I just don't think I could relate to it.
Yeah, there's nothing about, like, a Silicon Valley exec that I need to know about. Like, I just don't need to know about that life. It kind of sounds like it could be one of those, like, finance bro books.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Yeah, my brother would probably love that.
There we go.
Okay. Question 18. We're getting close. This has gone quick. A rescue team in Antarctica picks up a distress signal from a base that officially doesn't exist and never did.
Ooh, suspenseful.
That sounds interesting. Again, like reality or not reality.
Oh,
I love
this
that.
could be a good movie too. I'd be at the edge of
Yeah,
my
I
seat.
feel like a lot of these would be really... I need more movies like these. These are my favorite ones to watch. High stakes, but yeah. I'm going to say would probably read, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on the fence between might read and would probably read. Because again, I feel like this is a movie I would watch, but I don't know if it's a book I would pick up, like, naturally. Like, maybe if someone gave me this book,
Yeah.
I'd be like, ooh, this sounds so cool. But if I was at the bookstore and I saw this book, I don't know if I would pick it up.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And I do think it could go either way. Like, it could be a really, really fun read, or it could kind of lose you a bit halfway through.
Yeah. I'm going to go with might. Might read.
Okay.
But you're probably read?
Yeah, I think I'm going to do probably read. It does really intrigue me for a thriller.
Okay, question 19. A cultural critic's essay collection on the end of privacy, the aesthetics of apocalypse, and what comes after capitalism. No.
Look, I've never really read an essay collection, if I'm going to be completely honest.
I've never just like picked one up and wanted to read.
Yeah. I mean, I do in uni now and then, but that's not by choice.
I actually someone gave me like an apocalypse book, and it was like, it sounded kind of like this. I think it went through like a couple of different natural disasters and like went through the science and math and like cultural
Yeah.
impacts of it. And I
See, that is kind of intriguing. Like I love a good like, the whole concept of natural disasters and like apocalypse and everything like that. That is it's kind of scary to think about, but it is quite interesting.
Yeah.
To think about.
I just never picked it up. So I'm like, I feel like I would definitely not read.
It's kind of an interesting collection of things, this one as well. Like the end of privacy, the aesthetics of apocalypse, and what comes after capitalism. Like it's an interesting group of things to be talking about. Like we're not just focusing on, apocalypse and natural disasters and everything. We've got some politics and stuff in there as well.
I feel like I would pick up this book if I was like taking a class, and if this was an option, I'd be like, this one sounds cool. But I don't know, like, if on my own time I would pick this book up.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go would definitely not read. It's purely because it's a collection of essays.
Yeah.
If it was a book, I might read it. I don't know. I might be more intrigued by it. Because sometimes essays, they don't flow as nicely when I'm reading. Whereas if it's just like a narrative, it's kind of easier to follow.
Right. Yeah, if it's more of a continuous, like, ongoing story. Yeah.
Question 20. A woman uncovers a box of unsent letters and begins to rewrite the story of her childhood.
Yes.
You're immediately yes.
Yes. Like a box of unsent letters.
Yeah. I do love that. It's very vague. I think a lot could happen, honestly. Begins to rewrite the story of her childhood. Who knows what happens in her childhood?
And like who wrote these unsent letters? Are they her letters, or is it like her mom's letters?
Yeah. I think I might read though. I don't think I'd instantly be drawn to it.
I think I would say probably.
I think if I knew a little bit more about, the trope, like the genre of the book, whether we're talking, because it could be like a romance story, it could be a thriller story. Like we don't really know. I think if I knew the genre a little bit better, I'd probably be a little bit more definitive.
I'm thinking, okay, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is kind of historical. So it's like dual timeline, and we have like the present day timeline of her like reading these letters, but then we like jump back in time to her actual childhood.
Yeah, and I have read a few books like that I really like, but for some reason a lot of them have been romance books now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh, really? I guess letters are romantic.
Yeah. I don't think I've read I think it would work really well as a historical fiction, honestly.
Yeah.
Are you going to do probably?
I'm going to do probably, yeah. 21. A clear, no-nonsense manual on how to lead teams with empathy, structure, and long-term vision. Definitely not read.
Yeah, I don't think that relates to much. I think if you were ahead of something in whatever division you work in, that would be very, very useful. But
Yeah, my husband actually did read a book like this, exactly like this, very recently.
really?
So there we go.
there you go. It works for some people. I guess, yeah, it just doesn't relate to my life. So,
Yeah.
question 22. Oh my gosh, can you please read that for me? My eyes are like
An ornithologist.
an ornithologist. Wait, what is an ornithologist?
It's like a bird.
Towards a rescue.
It's like a bird.
Oh yes,
birder.
of course, yes.
Yeah.
Why did my mind go straight to like? I think I was thinking of a Dinosaur World. No, an ornithologist joins a rogue expedition into the Congo to find a supposedly extinct bird, and then the team starts vanishing one by one. It could be interesting. The whole twist of the team starts vanishing. That's a little bit interesting.
That got me, yeah, because I was like, oh,
Yeah,
birds,
yeah.
Congo,
The start of it.
extinct bird.
Clearly,
Not sure.
clearly, I'm not really interested in that area. I think I'd do probably not read.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm really drawn to it.
I think I'm the same way. Yeah, there's not enough here to draw me in. Number 23 is, in an alternate 1800s, a woman disguises herself as a man to join a pirate crew in search of a mythical island said to grant second lives. Oh my gosh,
Immediately, yes.
Every other word in that blurb was like a twist.
Literally, oh my gosh. Immediately, yes. That sounds so much fun.
That sounds,
I am
yeah.
obsessed with pirates.
Yeah, I haven't read too many pirate books, but like, that's fun.
I feel like there's not a lot out there. I've only read a few, but the ones that I have read, I've absolutely loved.
I'm gonna say, ooh, should I do probably or definitely?
I did definitely because I'm such a Pirates of the Caribbean girl. And this feels like, is it A Midsummer Night's Dream? Is that the one in Shakespeare where the girl goes undercover? Like that's kind of,
Oh, yeah.
it's, yeah, that's based off like so many books are based off that now. But that is giving that meets Pirates of the Caribbean. So
That's true.
sounds fun to me.
I really want to read this. I feel like there's so much in here. I'm gonna say probably.
You'd hope it was a lengthy book, I think.
Yeah, to cover all of that. Because at first I was like, okay, an alternate 1800s. And then I was like, okay, a woman disguising herself as a man. And then I was like, oh, there's a pirate crew.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, mythical
Yeah.
island. And then I'm like, what? Second lives? That's like a lot.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, you'd hope it was at least 500 pages.
Yeah. We have to cover a lot of ground here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do probably. This sounds fun.
Okay, we're on the last question.
Ooh.
Okay, a box of mementos hidden by her late husband sends a young woman on a cross-country road trip through memory and mourning. Again, box of hidden letters.
Yeah,
Seems to be a pretty common theme.
but we know who this one's from.
I think I'd go might read for that reason. I think it'd be an interesting self-discovery kind of journey.
Yeah.
The book. Yeah, I don't think it intrigues me too much.
I think this book would make me cry.
Yeah, definitely. Like a trip through memory and mourning.
Okay, I'm gonna do probably read because I love crying.
Oh my gosh, okay. Do we press next and find out what reader we are?
Yeah, okay. Should we do 3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
You are an orange reader. What are you?
Me too. We did so many different.
We were so
though.
different. How much percentage are you? I'm 60% an orange reader. So honestly, I have a bit of everything going on in there, honestly.
Me too. I'm actually 60% orange reader too.
What's your next highest?
Okay, it looks like it's actually tied with yellow reader though, which is also 60%.
Oh, okay. I'm 55% yellow reader.
Ooh, okay. So we are a little different.
And then I'm 50% purple reader.
Me too.
Okay, yeah, great. I'm absolutely 0% green reader. What was green reader again?
Green, I think, was like
Green was the curious.
The curious sage.
Viewing literature as a toolkit for navigating life.
Because we both said definitely not read for every single
for all
nonfiction
the
that popped up.
self-help. Yeah.
Okay, shall we explore orange type then, since that's both of us? I thought I was going to get blue.
Yeah?
Just because those are the books I've been reading like the past few weeks. But I guess like my overall taste is still orange.
Yeah, I was about to say when you go down to your core.
Yeah, like I'm just in a blue phase.
This is how we're going to like tell each other what kind of books we're feeling like now.
Yeah.
We'll be like, yeah.
Do you want a blue? Do you want a
I'm
yellow?
really feeling some blue books. Yeah.
Okay, what is an orange reader? An orange reader thrives on masterful world building. They look for stories with imagination, exploration, and vivid storytelling that transports them far beyond the ordinary. They seek out expansive worlds, epic adventures, and richly detailed narratives that ignite their sense of wonder and possibility. For them, reading is about discovery, excitement, and embarking on journeys that stretch the boundaries of their imagination.
Honestly, I think that's pretty accurate. We just like to escape reality with fantasy worlds.
Oh my gosh. Look at the book on our fiction preferences. It's on both of our TBRs.
Oh my God, is it going to be it's Way of Kings.
It's Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson.
Is this our sign?
I think it's telling us.
I have been itching to read it recently. Every time I see it on my bookshelf, I'm terrified by this book, but I've had a lot of people say that immersive reading or audiobook just, on its own is a good way to go.
Oh.
To jump back into his world, because I'm pretty sure there's a big jump. I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but from what I've heard, there's a big jump from the Mistborn series to the Way of Kings. Like it goes from, YA, everything's kind of set out for you, to more adult high fantasy, high stakes, high intensity, everything like that. That's what I've heard. So that does really intrigue me.
Yeah, I think and
it's winter here, so I'm kind of like, it's the perfect time to read it. I don't want to read a big book like that in summer, but
you
can sit on the couch all day.
That's where we're opposite, because I'm in the middle of the summer. Oh, yeah, but I've been feeling the same way too. Like I've been close to picking it up, but then I just haven't.
Yeah, I think it's like the Brandon Sanderson itch. You just get an itch I keep getting an itch to be back in his Cosmere. That's what keeps happening to me. And then I keep going, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just pick up one of his standalones. And then I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't buy another book when I've got his whole Stormlight archive on my shelf.
That's so funny. You already have all of them. You're ready.
I know. I literally was talking to Hachette about it, and I had the first two, and then they were like, the new one was coming out last year, and then they sent me them all. And I was like, so I've literally got no excuse.
They sent you all of them?
Yeah. And I originally had how Way of King was originally in two parts, like part one, part two of the books, because they were so big. They've been rebound, and so into like mass paperback. So now I've got the whole book, which it's like a weight to hold up. It's literally, you could do little curls with this. Like this is a heavy book.
I remember when I was reading Priory of the Orange Tree, like my wrists and my neck literally started hurting. Like I started getting muscle pains from like holding that book up.
There's no good way, because if you're reading it like this, you're like holding it up and your hands are going to get sore, but your neck's going to be okay. And then if you put it down, you're going to be...
Then your neck's going to hurt.
There's no good way.
Yeah.
A Kindle's a good way, but
That's true, but you have all the physical copies.
Progress. Literally. Then you can't see your progress, and you'll be like 100 pages in, it'll be like 10% in. And you'll just go, okay.
Yeah, it's not as fun with, like, especially with a thick book, like you want to see how far into it you are. I did read Yumi and the Nightmare Painter.
Yes, I was going to ask about that one. I wasn't sure if you wanted to save your thoughts for your wrap up though.
I think this episode's coming out after my wrap up. Maybe. I don't know. Do we have a release date? Who knows? I read it. I finished it literally yesterday. I loved it. I thought it was really cozy and cute.
Great. I've heard really good things.
Yeah, there's more romance in it. I think it's kind of more like Tress of the Emerald Sea, where there's like a bit more of a romance focus to it.
Yeah, I did get that vibe.
Yeah, but I liked it better than Tress, because to me Tress read a little bit more middle grade. Like, I don't know, to me it read really, really super young. You Mean the Night Painter, it still reads like young-ish, but it's definitely a bit more mature than Tress, and I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I find it fascinating how Brandon Sanderson has such like diversity in his writing. Like usually people stick to kind of at least one age group, like adult fiction or adult fantasy, whatever. But he really he's all over the place.
Yeah.
He loves to just experiment with a little bit of everything. I mean, he does children's books as well. He does like, literally like graphics and everything. He does everything.
I didn't know that. That makes sense though.
Yeah.
I could see him writing a really good children's book.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of these are very funny. So our recommendations are Dune, The Way of Kings, Outlander, and Shogun. They're
So
very
funny.
like classic kind of books, aren't they?
Yeah, I feel like these
They're
are like
like-
quintessential fantasy reads.
They're everything of the genre. So when you think of like sci-fi, fantasy, you think of Dune. When you think of high fantasy, you think of Brandon Sanderson, Way of Kings.
Yeah.
When you think of like fantasy romance,
Outlander.
you go Outlander. That's got the time travel as well.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shogun.
funny,
Shogun,
kind of.
hasn't that been adapted into a show?
It's been, yeah, I was about to say it's I think it's a TV series.
Yeah, I think so.
now, I think.
Maybe I should read it.
I have never, have you read an Outlander book?
No, I haven't.
Have you watched the TV series?
I actually never did, and recently I started watching, so I've watched 2 episodes so far.
Okay, I think I've only watched like the first season. And I watched it with my mum because I feel like that's the show that I like get my mum into fantasy. It's the only one she'll watch with me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty normal though. It's kind of, yeah, he was the main actor was in Australia in Sydney whilst I was in Sydney the other week. And I was just like,
Did you see him?
no. My friend did though. He came to her work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, that's so cool. What a day at work.
Oh, there's a You'll Love These Books section too. And there is The Name of the
Oh,
Wind.
if we keep scrolling down.
Yeah, there's so
I
many.
love The Name of the Wind.
Should I read it?
That is one of, it's very, like, it's quite slow moving, but I love it, if that makes sense. It's one of those really, like, epic fantasies, you know, like the classic epic fantasy. It gives, like, Lord of the Rings. I don't know if you've read The Wheel of Time.
No, that's
think
another one I missed out
Yeah.
on.
It's very similar to that, but it's good. The only thing is there are 2 books out and it's been like that for I think about 10 years now. We don't know if we're ever going to get the 3rd book.
Oh, that's immediately
A little
discouraged
bit of
me.
pain. So I always have to kind of say that before you go into it.
No, that's a good warning.
Yeah, literally whenever I recommend it to my followers, I'm like, so this is like one of my favorite books, but
Yeah.
we've got some, I haven't heard of some of these.
So there's American Gods, and there is The Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry, and The Lost City of Z by David Gran.
The Lonesome Dove looks like a historical, oh wait, no, they're on, I don't know. I was going to say it's a historical fiction kind of vibe, but they're rounding up cattle on horses, so I don't know.
Let's look this up.
You're doing a quick gurgle. Yeah, a quick Google.
A gaggle?
A gurgle. I said, yeah, literally gurgle.
A gurgle. I'll do a quick
That's
gurgle.
morning brain for you.
Yeah. Okay, The Lonesome Dove. Ooh, it's got a 4.56 on Goodreads. Wow.
That's incredibly high.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so it's a historical fiction. It's like a Western.
Yeah.
Whoa. I don't think I've read a book like that. A love story, an adventure, and an epic of the frontier. Larry McMurtry's Pulitzer Prize-winning classic, Lonesome Dove, the 3rd book in the Lonesome Dove tetralogy, is the grandest novel ever written about the last defiant wilderness of America. Journey to the dusty little Texas town of Lonesome Dove and meet an unforgettable assortment of heroes and outlaws, whores and ladies, Indians and settlers. Richly authentic,
Oh my gosh.
beautifully written, always dramatic, Lonesome Dove is a book to make us laugh, weep, dream, and remember. What
You know
a blurb.
that like pirate book that you read out before where it was just like
More
boom,
and
boom,
more and
boom.
more.
That, literally that feels like that. I was like just like, okay, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
I was first of all like, oh, like a Western love story. That would be fun. And just nope.
No.
It must be executed well considering how high the ratings are.
A 4.56 is so good. That's like Brandon Sanderson
don't-
levels.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't see many books rated that high on Goodreads.
Should we go through Yellow Reader since we both kind of had that one pretty
Yeah.
high too? Okay, so the Yellow Reader was the emotionally vibrant and driven by passion, drawn to books that stir their heart and evoke intense feelings. The fiction preferences are Kristen Hanna, The Nightingale.
I still haven't read it.
You haven't read The Nightingale?
I'm so scared. I think you see people crying about books and you're like, oh my gosh, got to read this immediately. And I see people crying about books and I'm like, I'm going to walk the other way for now because I don't need. Sometimes when they creep up on me and I don't think I'm going to cry and then I cry, I'm fine with that. But when I know that I'm going in for absolute heartbreak, that terrifies me.
Oh.
So, like, reading A Little Life was the scariest thing I have ever done, ever.
Oh, but see, that book was just like full sadness.
That book was just like trauma.
Trauma after
It was
trauma.
just, literally, I was just like, can these poor characters catch a break? It took me a long time to read because I couldn't just read it. I had to read other cute little romances and fantasy books in between because I was like, this is a lot for me.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I don't even know if that book made me cry because I feel like by the end of it, I was just like numb.
Yeah.
Like there's so much trauma thrown into it. By the end, you just like feel nothing. Like you get desensitized to it in a weird way.
Yeah. And the way it's presented to you in such a basic, it's just said. It's not tiptoed around. It's their inner thoughts and their whatever happens to them or whatever they're dealing with. It's just said. It's not, kind of slowly, like you don't get a little footstep into it. It's just there. And
right.
I think after that keeps happening, it definitely, because I didn't cry until the very end. I would say the last 100 pages. I definitely got a bit like teary at the beginning. But you're right. During the middle, I don't think I cried because I kind of almost was like in anticipation for something to happen. I just kind of was scared.
Yeah.
And then we got, and I won't say anymore, but because I don't want to go into the details of it.
Spoilers.
But so that's why I'm terrified of The Nightingale, because every single person I've seen read it has absolutely loved it. Like, I don't think I've seen somebody rate it below a 4.25, I don't think. Mm-hmm. But they've also said this is the saddest, like one of the saddest books I've ever read. So,
but it's so good at this. Like, it's one of those books that like it's sad, but you're also like, wow, that was beautiful.
See, to me, it's like a summer book for me. So I'm kind of just keep telling myself I'm going to read it in the summer. I told myself that last summer though.
A summer book?
Yeah, because in winter I'm already so like sullen and sad. I'm like, I don't need, at least if I read it in the summer, I can go outside for a nice sunny walk afterwards and start to feel a little bit again. Whereas I feel like if I read it in the winter, I'll just sit on my couch all day after finishing it and be like, ow, like that hurt me.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good point. Yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Anyway, that book terrifies me. So what are the other books?
Beach Read by Emily Henry.
Oh, now that I love. Now that's easy.
I mean, I've really loved both of these books, so I think I am a yellow reader.
Maybe
and an orange reader.
Yeah. I was about to say you're 50-50, but you're not. You're 60-60.
I'm 60-60. How does that work? I don't know. There's Little Women.
Oh, yeah. Have you read that or watched it?
I haven't read it. I've watched like multiple of the movie adaptations, like the different ones, and I love all of them. And I actually do have the book. It's a pretty easy book. It's short, but I'm waiting for the fall.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And also, again, you know what you're in for that book. So I kind of feel like it kind of takes away, you know what to prepare for, whether it's when you go into a book blindly. Yeah,
like I know the story. I love the story. And I'm so excited to read it. But I just feel like I need to have like cooler weather for this one.
Yeah, definitely. Have you got a favorite movie adaptation? Because there's been quite a few. I've only watched 2, I think.
I think I've watched 2 of them as well.
Yeah.
There's a couple more. There's the other books you probably like. There's Me Before You by Jojo Moyes.
Oh my God.
That one made me cry.
Yeah.
Like years ago when I read it. That was so good. Mm-hmm. And the movie too. That's sad to think about.
I mean, we've got our Finnick in it. Like, how can it not be Finnick? No. I already have an emotional attachment to that man.
Oh,
like,
no.
Put him in a gut-wrenching romance and I'm done.
There's also Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens.
Oh, have you read that one?
I have, yeah. I really like that one.
Yeah, same. I haven't watched the movie yet. I think I read that a long time ago, and I don't think I appreciated it when I read it because I remember not hating it or anything, but I just kind of remember being like, oh yeah, it was okay. I didn't love it, but I think if I went back to it now, I'd have a different opinion. But I do want to watch the movie because I've heard good things about that as well.
Yeah, and it's Daisy Edgar Jones. Yeah, that's the Yellow Reader.
Cool. Well, if you guys did the quiz, let us know what you are, because this is very interesting to me. They really give you a comprehensive guide onto what kind of reader you are.
But now we both have to read The Way of Kings.
Yeah, I know. If this is our sign, like, it's kind of embarrassing that that's like the core book to the Orange Reader. And we haven't read it.
I know.
It's like, oh, we're fake orange readers. You know, maybe I'll be brave.
Ooh.
We'll see. I never put it on my TBR because I'm like, as soon as I put it on my TBR, I'll just be fretting about it all month. So I just want to pick it up naturally. But I also know when I pick it up naturally, there's my TBR gone for the month, because it's going to take me a good, like,
so long.
Yeah, 2 weeks at least.
Should that be a podcast journey, an episode?
We could do like
The Way of Kings.
We could do continuous updates every time we get to read a new book. So every few years? But yeah, every time we read a new book in that series, we could do a little update.
So thanks for listening wherever you are in the world or time zone you're in.
Until next time, stay comfy and keep reading.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on socials for more bookish content.
Bye.